Hello folks, welcome back to my Let's Play of Warhammer 40k Space Marine. Last time we left off, we were on the chapter Against All Odds. And we had just entered here. We're going to be Captain Mira again.
Another horde of the greenskins are headed here from the south.
So I'm going to probably skip that cutscene if I can. But when we get done with that cutscene, I'm going to show you all the Yes, we can't skip the cutscene. I guess I'll talk over it then.
Thank you.
Oh, we can. Okay, there we go. Anyway.
Genetic scan complete.
So, we just unlocked Fury Mode. So, Fury Mode is basically, a kind of cool little thing. You enter in Fury Mode, you regain health, all your close quarter combat attacks are enhanced, and it drains the Fury meter. And now you regain Fury every time you kill enemies with melee weapons. Since you are constantly killing enemies with melee weapons, you are never without Fury half the time.
We need to reach that Titan.
Fury is very...
The fastest route is across the rail bridge behind the gun complex. It leads directly to the western gates of the Manufactorum.
Get me that field manual. Stuck on bloody Forge World and not a single tech priest in sight.
So tech priests are basically like, tech priests are basically the Warhammer 40k universe versions of mechanics, except they are a religious group that believe that machines have spirits in them, and that if you want to do anything with the machines, you have to whisper to the machine spirits, and they worship a guy known as Machine God, who, because the tech priests are very useful. Here's the thing about the Warhammer 40k universe. Anything that's not the Emperor, if you're a human, if you worship anything that's not the Emperor and you aren't a tech priest, it's considered heresy. So what do they do with heretics? If you're lucky, they'll never find you, and and you can continue worshiping whatever you worship, usually the Chaos Gods like Karn or Tessnet or Slanesh, as I'm very inclined to worship. But if they do find you, well, there's a number of things that they'll do to you. Ranging from outright just shooting you, which is the better of the two options, to if you were part of a cult, they'll torture you. And then they'll torture you. And then to get information out of you as to where your cult comrades are. Then they might kill you. But most of the time... they'll just torture you for any good reason. Heck, you don't even have to be a part of a cult for them to suspect you of heresy. You just have to do something that they think is suspicious, and the Inquisition pay a cursory visit to you. Usually filled with a lot of pants crapping.
The Orkz control the trenches beyond the ruins and the battlements beyond that.
And the gun battery.
The Orkz took it almost as soon as we got here, nearly 2 weeks ago. Now none of our ships can get past the gun.
But, yeah. The, Imperium is a very strange place.
Weapons authorization
Oh.
confirmed. Access granted.
I love this gun. This is the Stalker Bolter. It's a sniper rifle that shoots explosive rounds. How badass is that?
That's where the Orkz breached the gun battery. We haven't been able to make it inside the wall. There just aren't enough of us.
You have survived this long on your own, Lieutenant. You have done well. But you are no longer alone. We will retake the gun. You will get your reinforcements.
I'll hold you to that, Captain.
So, interesting thing, she's a part of the 103rd Caden unit. They are probably one of the most...
We're heading back to the command post, Captain. Good luck.
They are probably one of the most
30, 34.
famous, Imperial Guards units.
46.
They're also the most advertised. It's sort of like how the,
Space Marine!
So that's how powerful this thing is. It can one-shot any enemy. Their ammo for it's rare, so I try not to use it that often.
On the high ground.
One thing I like about the Orkz is that they have this weird kind of Cockney accent. And for some reason I like the Cockney accent. Mostly because in most older movies that deal with pirates, the pirates have the Cockney accent. I can't do it very well.
Space Marines!
Like, my Cockney accent makes me sound like I'm Welsh or something. It's like, oh, get off my spaceship, Space Marines! That's how I sound like when I'm trying to do the Cockney accent, and it's god awful.
Kill the Space
Or it may not be. Someone in my family says I sound British, mostly because I use a lot of British idioms, and I don't sound like I'm from Louisiana. But that's just because I got rid of the accent a long time ago. Don't even know how. I just did.
Space Marines! It's the Space Marines!
Eat that, you little wretchin. How do you like this? Chainsaw style. Sparta kit. More Orkz to destroy.
Once we get through these battlements,
So there's a bit of a joke,
find a way into the gun fortress.
where, because this game's been out for a long while, and I can spoil some things, but I'm not going to spoil everything, just in case someone who hasn't seen this is watching. So, as you can see, you get health by bathing in the blood of your enemies. Now, a lot of people have theorized that, unbeknownst to Titus, he's a champion of Khorne, who is one of the, let's see, Slash, Tessanech, Nurgle, Karn, one of the 4 gods of chaos. And one of the things that Khorne loves is for blood to be spilled. He doesn't care who spills it or where it is spilt. He just wants blood. And lots of it. That's why it's kind of ironic that that's why he's kind of the most powerfulest Chaos God. Because, well, there's always going to be blood spilt in the Warhammer 40k universe, as you can tell by the fact that in the goddamn opening they say, in the grim darkness of the future there is only war. They weren't kidding. the Imperium of Man, the body that governs humanity and everything that they do, has been at war for at least 2,000 to 1,000 to 2,000 years.
Captain, assault support pods were dropped in this area.
Oh. Oh. Okay. This is the jump pack. You don't get to use them often,
Take to the high ground, Captain.
but it is the best thing in the world. Cause this jump pack is basically lets you do this. Combine this with a couple of the other weapons that you can get in this game, the other couple of the melee weapons. Because this is not the tip of the ice. This is only the tip of the iceberg with the destruction of melee weapons. The best melee weapon in this game doesn't come in for another couple of chapters. And it is the Thunder Hammer. So, what is the Thunder Hammer, you might ask? Imagine now if you had Mjolnir, Thor's hammer. Now, make it 10 times bigger. Enhance it with like the ability to freaking cause at least a 1 on the Richter scale nearby, and then add a giant metahuman like a space marine to the equation. You get what is quite possibly one of the most destructive weapons in the game. The only downside of it is that melee attacks with it are very slow and you have to be very careful with it. But other than that, it's probably the best weapon in the game, and it is oh so satisfying to use. Orkz to kill! Ha ha ha! But I love the jump pack. You don't get to use it often, and I wish you could. I think you can get. I think there's a multiplayer. There is a perk that lets you use the jump pack for a limited time. But oh my god, in single player, every time you get to use it, it's probably one of the best parts of the game. Oh yeah! Boom! Eat death and destruction, you motherfuckers! I am your new god! Actually, really funny thing about the Orkz from the Warhammer 40k universe is they're probably one of the weirdest creatures in that universe. So their backstory is here's the backstory of the Orkz.
No room for that jump pack, Captain.
They were a race created explicitly for the conduction of war. And what does that mean? That means they are, by none, some of the most dangerous creatures you can face in the Warhammer 40k universe that aren't like daemons, the Toe, Eldar, or Necrons. Who I'll talk about later, because Necrons are my favorite faction in the Warhammer 40k universe. And I love everything about them, even the stupid stuff in their lore that's part of their lore nowadays. But the Orkz The thing about them is they're designed to basically, when they die, that's how they propagate. Yeah, there are no female orcs at all. There used to be, back in the old fluff of the game, of the universe, but Games Workshop kind of retconned that.
This fortress is swarming with orcs. Clearing this place will take days.
Those guardsmen cannot survive that long. We find a way to destroy the gun.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So the way orcs propagate.
Base Marine records.
Oh, Melta gun.
Access to experimental vengeance launcher.
The Vengeance.
A vengeance launcher.
That sounds promising.
The Vengeance launcher. It's an experimental gun, and it basically is a grenade launcher that does that. Oh, also the grenades stick to enemies. So if you shoot a person with it, you can blow up an entire group of enemies just by sticking this to one person. At least I think it sticks to people. I haven't played this game in a while, and I'm playing...
Medicaid facilities should expect significant delays regarding removal of deceased persons.
And I'm playing this for the first time in about a couple of years. Yes, it does stick to people.
Authorization Astartes Ultra. Access granted.
Authorization Astartes
Sure to be something.
Astartes Ultra. Ah!
Lockdown in effect.
Look here, Captain. Melter charges.
Put those in the right place, and this whole fortress will come down.
We could put the charge on one of the gun's shells.
Leandros, you do the chapter proud.
So,
Basic safeguard. Remember that we honor destroyed by the
remember that we honor the machine god by exceeding quotas. I would probably, if I was in the Warhammer 40k universe, if I wasn't just a commoner and I could actually do some awesome stuff, I would probably not want to be a tech priest, because essentially they're a bunch of idiots who don't know how electrical or mechanical engineering works. Granted, they're the only people who knows how to fix stuff, but a lot of their creeds are kind of stupid. For one thing, they don't like innovation that much. Yeah. You know how innovation is the heart of industry? Or the heart of an empire is innovation? Well, tech priests believe that if you innovate any of their technology, it'll anger the machine god. So, a lot of their tech is very old and very, very stupid. I mean, granted, a lot of it is still more advanced than any stuff we have. But you would think that in the... What millennia does this take place? It's in the year 40,000, so...
Access restricted.
Let me go to... How do you spell millennium? Set in. Okay, the 41st millennium. You would think by the 41st millennium that we would have a little bit more advanced crap. But then again, in the history of mankind in the 41st universe, there was a thing known as the Dark Age of Technology. I don't remember much about it because I don't really care much for the fluff of the 40k universe that much. Suck a dick. I hear Gretchen's. I intend to do that. But what was I second talking about? Oh yeah, orc reproduction. So the way they reproduce is every time you kill an orc, they release these spores. And so that's their form of reproduction, which is really strange. It also ensures that every time you kill an orc, more orcs will replace it.
There. I will place the charge on that shell. Now to move the shell into place.
With luck, the Orkz will feed it right into the gun's chamber.
We cannot rely on luck for this, Sir Donis. We follow the shell up and make sure it reaches its destination.
Aye. Now back to the lift.
Back to the lift, back to the lift, back to the lift. Your health is low. I know. So, anyway. Ignoring those idiots, because this place is going to blow up anyway.
Destroy them!
Oh yeah! Eat it! I am your master now. I am covered in the blood of my enemies. Truly nothing is more glorious. And nothing is more satisfying. I wish the blood stayed on you instead of just slowly disappearing, because that would just make
This is not a drill.
Because that would just make me really happy. I don't know why. Kind of reminds me of Dragon Age in a way. I don't remember if Dragon Age Origins came out before or after this. But in that game, whenever you get into combat and you can stay there for a very long enough time, you get covered in the blood of your enemies in that game, and probably your blood as well. That is not a game that is also not a game I ever intend to let's play, because it's too long and has. Don't do that. You almost moved my keyboard. What do you mean? Oh, Dragon Age? It's too long. Like, I've done some games that are pretty long. But, Dragon Age is a bit too long. Also, there's too many side quests that I just don't know how to do them. And so it would be a very annoying thing to do a let's play of.
Yeah.
There. A second.
I love the skull motif that the Imperium of Man loves to go with. Everything's got a skull on it, no matter what it is. Even if it makes no damn sense for it to.
Yeah.
But who cares? Granted, I'm a person who likes skulls too, and I used to own a giant plastic skull before I got rid of it. I should get another one of those and just keep them around my house. Use them for whenever Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons come and knocking on the door. I can just answer it with a skull in my hand. They won't know it's fake. Well, they might. Anyway, that's the end of the video. I'll see you guys next time when we go blow this damn thing up. Astus! And he ain't getting up. He might not be dead, but he's not getting up from that anytime soon. And more than likely, if he double-pronged attack my ass.